May Hashem, the creator of the heavens and earth, be blessed today and forevermore for the revelations that he gives us. And I'm specifically grateful as well to the Shekhinah for teaching us the Torah, for bringing us out of Galut, for talking to us and being so patient with us over the last 30 years to lose the Galut mentality and to look for the Shabbat, to look for the Torah. And 32 years later, here we are with 6 years, 7 years of Teshuvah and studying Torah and marching towards a re-entry into the covenant, into the Brit. I want to share with you the second verse of Parshat Haman, verse 5. It's not is it the second verse? Yeah, it's the second verse, verse 5. And I'm still reflecting on this Parshat, on this portion, verse by verse, because I see the treasures and promises of God that I need in my life today. I believe that today is the day, it looks like the day of my disappointment and shame, where I could not keep my promises to my landlord, but I look at it and I see it as a day of salvation, where Hashem will double my income, double my blessings, where he will pay me and bless me where he has not provided employment or work, because he makes something out of nothing all the time. Baruch Hu uBaruch Shemo. The second verse of Perek Haman says, Vehaya beyom hashishi. Vehaya beyom hashishi. Vekinu et asher yabiu vehaya mishne al asher yilketu yom yom. Which means, Vehaya beyom hashishi, there will be on the 6th day, Vehakinu, when they apportion et asher yabihu, what they have brought. When they apportion what they have brought, which means there's going to be earnings, there's going to be a payment of some sort. Vehaya mishnei al asher yilketu yom yom. So I find this verse also prophetic, because you must remember with Hashem and in the world of Torah, what in the Torah, what happens physically also happens in the spiritual realm. And there are 70 interpretations of what is happening, 70 faces of the Torah. So what I want to pick out from this verse are the doubles which God talks about on the 6th day on Yom HaShishi. Doubles. What does God mean by doubles? And first of all, I just want to highlight that the day itself, Yom HaShishi, is a day of doubles. What do I mean? Look at the word HaShishi. HaShishi, the construct, which means the 6th day, we have double shin. We have double the fire. We have double the shin. There are 2 shins in the word HaShishi. And then we have another double in the word Mishneh, which means a double to double or a second. And then we have doubles in the text in the words Yom Yom. 2 words, we have doubles. So I call the 6th day the doubles. What does God mean? Well, God is in the Parshat, on the level of the Parshat, God is saying, I'll give you a double portion. So which means you'll collect double for double the manna, or the manna for Yom HaShishi, for Erev Shabbat, so that on Sabbath day you don't have to go out into the field and collect the manna or the bread of heaven. Remember, in the physical, there's also an equivalent in the spiritual. It can also be interpreted in physical or spiritual ways, but also it can be interpreted as bread or your salary, your income, your gains in business. So when we look at the numerical value of Hashishi, we have the clear doubles. We have Hey, which is 5 plus 300 plus 300. That's 605 plus 10, 615. That's 2 more than 613, which are the mitzvot, which are the commandments in English and the statutes that God has given us, but I'd say commandments. So it says 615. When we do our calculations, it gives us what is the word asir? What is asir? It's a prisoner. What comes to my mind when I see prisoner is Eved Hashem. That's what comes to mind. A prisoner of Hashem. What does it mean? A servant of Hashem, of Eved Hashem. In which way? In a way that God has given us the 613 commandments, which we call the yoke of heaven. But on the sixth day, you shall have double the yoke of heaven plus 2, 613 plus 2. Our rabbis and their wisdom and Chazal, they tell us that whenever we have this number that gives us perfection, we should always add 2 to them. For example, 70, we always add 2 for the bait, not for the bait midrash, for the assembly, or no, what am I trying to say? The Sanhedrin, which is the assembly of the great men of the Zakenim of Israel. So 70 plus 2, we always add the 2 to make something perfect. So we have 613 commandments, but on Yom HaShishi, we should have double the mitzvahs on our mind. We should have double the motivation, double the blessing, double the experience. It's a mitzvah to collect manna throughout the week. God gave it to us orally. Shebal Pei. God expects us to work. He says, from the sweat of our brow we shall live. But God doesn't say that by the sweat of our brow we shall earn, which means the effort that we put in, we will always be paid by God a higher value of what effort we put in. It is the blessing encoded in the curse of work. So we have 613 plus 2. Our experience of keeping mitzvah, by Friday morning it should be elevated as we anticipate the Shabbat, and therefore mitzvahs times 2. We must not say, oh, the week is over, I don't have to do any mitzvot, but I should be looking for mitzvahs to do on Shabbat, on Yom Shvi, Yom HaShishi, so that I can connect twice as much to the power of the Torah. So we have a connotation of keeping the mitzvahs perfectly or with perfection. But I like this thought to elevate the mitzvahs that we did during the week on Yom HaShishi. We must go towards Shamayim. Our souls must elevate towards Shamayim. So this is what I get by Yom HaShishi. But Yom HaShishi, when we look at the Hebrew letters, the holy otiyot, the 2 shin are 2 times the fire, 2 times the illumination, 2 times the motivation. And then we have other doubles that appear in the text, where it says Mishneh. Mishneh can mean second or double for the second time. So what is happening in Mishneh? We have 40 mem plus 300 plus nun, which is 50, plus hey, which is 5. That gives us 395. 395 is equivalent, this gematria for Mishneh, it is equivalent to Neshama. Here we have Ne-Sha-Ma, which is the soul. We scramble the words around, that we scramble the otiyot, the letters around, we get Neshama. But also we get Hashamayim. Let me do it in a different color pen. We also get Hashamayim, which is 1 Hey, 2 Shin, 3 Mem, Hashamayim. Yeah, and then we have at least 3 letters for Hashamayim, but the value still gives us 395. So what does it mean? Double or twice as much. It means that on Yom HaShishi, on Friday morning, as we prepare our hearts for Shabbat, our neshama or neshamot, our souls must be elevated towards Shemayim. Double, or the second time. This brings to my mind duality. God began to create the world with the letter Beit and not the letter Aleph. It says Bereshit. Bereshit. And our rabbis always ask the question, why did God begin with Beit and not Aleph? We have a clue there that there's a dagesh, there is a code inside of Bereshit that God wanted to make the world his home, his dwelling place, with a door and a chimney, to be nice and cozy in the world, to make that his home one day. In the previous video that I made on this day of my proving, the proving of my faith, I did say that in Bereshit, God has encoded sustenance, provision, parnasa. For everything that he would create, he would be the sustainer of it. And so God sends souls, human souls, into the world with parnasa, so that the parents can look after them. So there's this duality. God created the world using Beit because of this duality that exists between heaven and earth, Chesed, which is the right hand, and Gevura, the left hand, justice and mercy. The human being is ordered by God to collect manna using two hands. Two hands we do work and we collect manna for 6 days. And on the 6th day specifically, we do double the work, double the chesed, double the gevurah, double the connection between heaven and earth. A double use of the hands. We receive Hashem's blessing as a double portion, but also we give tzedakah. There is chesed and gevurah. There's the power to give and mercy to receive. But the sword, the hidden meaning, according to what the Shekhinah is showing me, is that for a household, or for there to be true riches on earth, there has to be a husband and wife, two hands working together. So the woman must work and the husband must work so that the household can receive the fullness of the riches. So a single man and a single woman cannot really reach the fullness of the riches. They cannot see or understand the sword hidden in the word Mishneh, which means there has to be a man and a woman earning the blessings of Hashem, collecting the manna. The third duality, or the third double that I see in this text, is Yom Yom. Yom Yom just means each day. But because Hebrew is pictographic, we can see the double of the words. And so what happens? In our Israelite tradition, this is the tradition that I've been privileged to understand, that in the northern kingdom, in the Israelite tradition, what happens? In the morning, our forefathers used to wake up, they do Shema, but also on Friday they lit the menorah or the candles for the first time. There's a first lighting of the candles after sunrise. There's a second lighting of the candles as Shabbat approaches, 18 minutes before Shabbat, halachically. So the Jews do it once. We Israelites are supposed to do it twice. To light and accept the Shabbat and receive it in the morning and receive it in the afternoon. And also we bake tuchalot, 2 pieces of bread, so that we can do a blessing after Kiddush of the bread as well. So Yom Yom, double the bread, double the portion, double the manna, double the light, double the oneg Shabbat, double the elevation of our neshamot. We must elevate our spiritual life on Yom HaShishi. We must double the bracha. God will double the bracha in actual fact, but we must double the oneg, which is the joy of the Shabbat. I mentioned in the previous video that I've been robbed of oneg Shabbat because of my situation, but I have not lost hope because I keep the joy of the Shabbat in my heart. If I cannot see it on my Shabbat table in the form of chalot, in the form of fish, in the form of duck, or in the form of chicken, in the form of beef, in the form of vegetables, in the form of desserts. But in my heart, I keep the oneg faithfully by not only being happy in my heart, but also studying a double portion of Torah on Shabbat to make up what I cannot put on my own table. But I wait patiently for the day that Hashem will double my income so that I can honor the Shabbat bride, the Kala, the way that she should be honored. Emunah, bitachon, another double. Emunah cannot exist on its own without bitachon, husband and wife. Where there's emunah, there must be bitachon. Yom HaShishi, the sixth day, is the day of blessings. And I believe with all of my heart and all the revelations that God has given me today, but before the week ends, $475 is coming into my bank account. And I did not work for this $747. It's not going to come just once, but it's going to come as an addition to my monthly income. How? God will see. Adonai Yireh. In the mountain of the Lord, it shall be seen. Emunah, bitachon. If you're an Israelite like me, 2 candles, 2 sets of candle lightings on the 6th day. 2 chalot. Double the mitzvahs. Double the joy. Start praying to fulfill the sod, which is to one day find a woman of the covenant that will be the second income or the second blessing, the double to my blessing, double to your blessing. If your husband or wife is jobless, let this end. Take emunah and bitachon. It doesn't matter what your ages are, even if you think you're too old to work. Both of you must find something to do so that you can have double the joy, double the blessing, double the fulfillment. If you are young, let your objective be to get married, not for financial gain, but to fulfill the Torah twice over, not just once. But the most important thing is Yom HaShishi brings us double the fire. We have Shin twice. Here we have the groom and the bride. And of course, we sing Boy Kala on Friday night. It's not by coincidence that we sing Boy Kala, because every 6th day, a wedding between God and his people. It is a day that every young man should be looking for a young woman, praying and meditating upon their future marriage. Every individual should be meditating upon the day of Mashiach, the day of God returning to his mountain in Jerusalem, where we will marry God, we will become his bride. But on the same day, the Shekhinah, which has shepherded my people, the Israelite people, from Galut of Esav, the Galut of Rome, and will bring us that on that day of Mashiach to our marriage with Yehuda again. The Shekhinah on that day will remarry with Hashem. will be reunited with Hashem, and they will dwell in the third temple that our Mashiach, son of David, will build. May Hashem's name be blessed forevermore. And in advance, in absolute emunah and bitachon, I thank him for his addition to my income, his additions to my life, and I also thank him for his additions to that will bring to your life. Hashem has to bless me, he has to bless you. How else can we sing Hallel? How else can we sing blessing? Can we boast among the nations about our God? Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo. May Hashem bless you. May Hashem keep you. May Hashem give you a wonderful week ahead. Shavua Tov and all the blessings.